Here we go.
The National Weather Service has issued yet another severe winter storm weather alert.
Severe winter storms.
Over 20 inches of snow is expected to be accumulated by the end of the day. Residents are advised to stay off the roads due to blowing snow and dangerous road conditions. Stay safe, Erie.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Oh. Oh. I remember. Yeah. Man, fucking Canada gets it so easy with all your snow days. You never have to leave the house. Oh, guys, see what they did there. That's pretty good.
Thanks everybody for being flexible today. The weather is clearly not cooperating with us.
Hey, Mil.
So guess we're on a call this time, but thanks for being here, and certainly thanks Liz for taking notes.
No problem. I'm ready to go.
Great. So Whitethorn winter's just around the corner. We definitely need to figure out what we're going to talk about. Anyone have anywhere you'd like to start?
Yeah, we should probably start with recapping last year.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing year for game releases. Botany Manor, Magical Delicacy, Mythrax, Skatefish.
I wish I got more snow here.
Final update.
And we had some really fun events like PAX and our annual publisher sale.
I have a bunch of trailers we can use for this. Let me share my screen and see what you all think.
God, this is too real. This is like my life. Although I do want to really quickly, I'm just gonna try and change the quality real quick, Jack, because I noticed that it's like fucking garbage. There we go. Okay. There was some good games that we got from Whitethorn. We got Botany Manor, which was a really interesting, comfy game. I still need to do more of that. Because I want to know what the lore was. A Pico, that looks cute. It looks kind of like a Goalkeeper in a way. No snow, that sucks. Magical Delicacy. I figured this was a game that Sinful would have played. It looks very much like her kind of game. Mythrax. I wanted to play this, but it looked very puzzle wordy, and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna struggle.
Yeah, that's great. We should also talk about some of the other events we went to.
Oh yeah, big year for travel. I had the opportunity to meet a lot of different people on different continents this year. We were at DICE first, and then I think GDC thereafter.
We also did Gamescom Latam, Bit Summit, and China Joy.
Yeah. Then back to the US, Minnesota, 2DCon this year.
And we had Ava, Game Brussels, and Festa Game in Chile.
Yeah. Oh, and we should probably mention that the week of the showcase, most of our titles are going to be on sale on Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, and also Nintendo Switch. We'll even have a sale on our website for all of our merch.
And it was another big
Their own
year
sale
for
chat.
the work our team and the developers have done to make sure that their games are as playable by as many players as possible, right, Court?
Yeah, definitely. We learned a lot this year from testing, our community, and other partner creators who want to make games more accessible to everyone. And we have so much more coming up this year.
My favorite part about this, right, is you can see you can tell.
Speaking of things happening this year, Botany Manor just launched on PlayStation. We should talk about that for sure.
You can tell
Yeah, I
how
have a trailer for
who's
that one
the
too.
streamer
Tell me what
and
y'all
who's
think.
not, and who works in corporate and who just plays games with their friends. You can tell. And I'm not sure if that was intentional or that's just their general setup. Again, it's such an interesting game. And I feel like there's a dark secret beneath it. Hey, Rob. Ah, yes, I love when I can crush my fruit and make fruit trees. You imagine you could crush a pear, a banana? No, yes. No, an apple, a banana, and a strawberry, and make like apple, banana, strawberry fruit just off a tree. Alright, come on, enjoy lurk. Seeds. It's the sort of thing that people plant in you, DGB. Hey. Zanya, they added me into the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, Laura and the team at Balloon Studios really made a just awesome game. We should definitely see if they want to have something to say.
Good idea. You have a call with them next week, right? Why don't you float the idea to them and see what the team thinks?
I can totally do that. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I've had quite a long break since April, or like at least, on and off, taking it easy.
Sure.
And
Hey, Johnny.
I had a very long Christmas break, which was nice.
I'm good, Rob. How you doing?
Yeah, no, I feel pretty good about it. It's always stressful when you launch a game, but then when you've had a bit of time to relax and recover,
But when it's come out and there's no bugs,
on how the launch went.
oh, it's a good day.
I think looking back on it, I feel the game was received really well, and we're still getting picked up sometimes in articles.
Picks off
and
Fluffle.
People are still talking about it, which is just really lovely to see.
Yeah, same really. Feeling really good. It's always impossible to know when you're working on a game, no matter how much faith you have in it, how it's going to be received. And I feel like it's really exceeded any expectations I had. We've had really nice feedback from all sorts of different players, and that's just been really lovely to hear.
My Fluffle.
And yeah, I always forget that after you finish working on a game, you finish the hard work, but the game then takes on a life of its own. So if it gets nominated for awards months later,
I
or
hope
you
you're doing
keep
right.
hearing about new
Make sure you
players just
can,
discovering it for the
rest
first
and
time,
relax if you need.
that's really lovely to see, and that's been great.
Yeah, I mean, the development is such a involved process for any game. What were some of the challenges that you overcame in development?
For me personally, probably an art challenge, and this was a fun challenge to solve, but working on anything that is based heavily on history and trying to keep the references quite close to that historical record, especially the 1890s, when everything was way over decorated and really super detailed, to go and do that research and then take those references and turn them into these beautifully simplified, stylized artworks that fit in the manor and helped contribute to that nice, relaxing, cozy environment. That was a challenge, and it took a lot of iterations and going backwards and forwards to get everything at the same level of detail.
I still feel like there's a
But I feel
dark
like we
secret
got
in
there
that
the
game.
end, so it was a fun one to solve.
Yeah, for me,
I'm a
the biggest
hammerhead
challenge
shark.
Technically, was to make the game run on a Switch, because there's a lot to render, and there's a really big manor that needed to be loaded in all at once, and we really had to push and optimize every single bit that we could to make it run, and also to not compromise the visuals too much, because the cozy, peaceful atmosphere with lots of foliage was really important to us, to the vibe of the game. So we didn't want to compromise that for Switch players. And I feel like we did a good job. I think it came out really well.
I think this is.
I think just, like I said, throughout development,
part of what I said.
You're in Unity, you're in the engine, you're in the manor.
Part of what I mean.
Are, big or small, some of your favorite things that you worked on that maybe people.
With what the Switch needs to kind of pick up its game.
For me, my favorite thing, this is very small, but is
so the devs don't have that problem anymore.
So I feel like, when you know something is almost like a little Easter
egg. It was an unintentional
specific
outcome. But when I realized I had to keep it.
But you know that if they see it and they go and translate them, they're going to go, oh, this is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody who's into science or botany or speaks Latin. So that was just a little tiny thing that was really fun to do. And I think we have had some people who actually did spot that and go and translate, but that was...
Yeah, and like you said, that makes it all kind of worth it in the end, when people are just so involved in the manner, and they're on the same level as you, where like, oh, they get it, and that's
yeah, exactly.
So Whitethorn is, known for its involvement in accessibility. I'm just curious, what were some of the key features that you knew how to make it into the game?
Instead of animating a camera towards a clue, you kind of just quickly fade to black, and then you're cutting that animation, also to reduce motion sickness for some people.
yeah, that's just so important, being able to reach that community and just allow, these features allow a broader, audience to play. And, I remember hearing about,
I think so, Zen.
motion sickness, and that's just so cool that, you and our team were able to collaborate on that and, add into the game. And, lastly, and for my own curiosity, what is next for Balloon Studios?
We are currently still working together, the two of us, and also with Thomas, who did the music on Botany Manor. And we're just prototyping a new game. And yeah, it's still sort of with the same kind of vibes as Botany Manor, but it's not the same either. And it's got history at its core, escapism, exploration, all those elements as well at its core.
Do we get a trailer?
I'll just echo what Laura says, and I guess from an art perspective, we're definitely trying to keep some of the really good things about Botany Manor, but also do something fresh and new.
I'm hungry.
I mean, I'm excited, so I can't wait to see more. It was great catching up, and I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that's what I'd want to do if I was in a dev studio. Just talk to devs,
Yeah, Botany Manor was such a fun
Or
game
publishing
to work
studio.
on, wasn't it, Pedro?
It really was, and I think it was a blooming success.
Oh, God.
Oh my god. Wasn't Botany Manor also involved in the first accessibility showcase too?
It was, and last year we were able to showcase accessibility features available in Magical Delicacy and Slime Heroes.
Yes, what an honor. I mean, included with so many amazing developers making stuff more inclusive for everybody out there.
Yeah, it would be really cool if we could get the organizer of that showcase to join us for Whitethorn Winter, Laura Kate Dale, right? I'd love to talk to her about accessibility.
Well, let's set that up. Laura, thank you so much for joining us today. It's so great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you've spent a lot of your career as a journalist and a consultant highlighting
I vaguely
accessibility
remember
in
this
gaming
person.
and in the games industry. So I'd like to learn a little bit more about
Pretty sure they're
why
a Twitch streamer.
accessibility in video games is so important to you.
I am a disabled gamer, and my disability has always been intertwined with how I experience video games. From
Max,
my
we
first
did 190
experiences growing
streak.
up as an autistic child, using hyperfixation on Pokemon as a way to try and connect with other people my own age, through to recognizing barriers in the kinds of games I struggle to play, and barriers that I didn't really have language to talk about why I was struggling with. It felt like somewhere that I had a lot to say that might be able to do some good. And the more of my career I have poured into accessibility beyond just the disabilities that personally impact me, it has become more and more apparent quite how huge a set of room there is right now in the industry for positive growth with things we know how to do. We just need to tell developers.
Reading
we know
off.
the
I feel like they're
solutions to a lot of
reading
these
off of a
problems, you just
board
need to
beside
give them a
them.
go.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's really fair.
I think to
Seeing
read
all those
something like that
gaps
back, I would be like,
are
yeah,
one
I
of the
gotta look
big
over there.
motivators to getting you into this field. Are there any other things that really motivated you to really present this platform?
So, in terms of starting to do regular online published content under the accessibility series that I do, a big part of it was talking to developers early on and hearing that there was very little in the way of beginner-friendly introductory content that was like, hey, we're going to assume that you know nothing about these topics, about what disabilities exist, how people could be helped, what those even basic introductions are, to sort of build up a knowledge base. And that was something I felt
Possibly,
confident
Sam.
doing. I was like, I
Possibly.
feel like
I know I used to do
it's
that when
not
I was
that much work to talk
working
to
in game.
people,
Like
find out
for the
the
first like few
basics,
years, I
and
would just
sort of give people an
yeah,
easy-
okay, I'll
easy
totally get you a game.
and the more of that I put out, the more that I realized how many developers, it wasn't that they didn't want to be accessible, they just didn't know how many ways there were to be accessible and how many groups of players they could be accommodating if they thought about it. And that was sort of a really self-fulfilling cycle of, oh, even the basics are getting a lot of people going, I didn't know I could do this. What if I could make the more complicated stuff manageable in that same way? And that really encouraged me to sort of keep going with it.
I see. That's really interesting. I think when we're working with our developers, we are encouraging them to incorporate these accessibility features. But like you said, like there's so much out there. It's
Morton
hard
is
to
the
know
corporate person
what to
in the
put
call.
in, what's the right way of doing it. So with our developers having the goal of making games as accessible to as many players as possible, what advice would you give to them or to other developers trying to do the same?
I think the easiest thing is go online and find disabled gamers talking about their experiences. We are at a point in this industry where there is a ridiculous wealth of knowledge out there being freely provided that you can use to learn firsthand experience from different people. If you go to somewhere like Blue Sky as a social media network and look for accessibility, you can find starter packs of hundreds of accessibility people in the games industry to start following who are constantly talking about their experiences and needs.
Blue Sky
You can
mentioned.
go to somewhere like Twitch and search for the disability tag and go watch disabled gamers with various disabilities and how they are engaging with games. If you've already got games released, you can go look for that tag on Twitch and find out how disabled people are already working within the games you've released and going, ooh, what can I do to make that easier for that person the way they're playing? There are so many people putting out reviews of video games from accessibility perspectives. There has never been more ability to see what disabled gamers are saying about the games they play and what is helping them and what isn't, and to just soak that information in.
She's not wrong. Like,
that's really amazing. And
there is a
so
lot
from
of
the
free
other end of
information out there these days.
if players want to see more accessibility in games, is there anything that they can do to help developers with that?
I think the biggest thing that people can do is advocate for it and talk to developers about the fact that they want to see it, whether it personally impacts them and their needs or not. A lot of the time, disability and accessibility
Happy
are going
birthday,
to
Blue
impact
Sky.
everyone eventually. Even if they don't impact you today, if nothing else, as you age, you're probably going to start experiencing reductions in fine motor control, in
Oh fuck!
vision,
Don't talk about this.
hearing. Eventually, you're probably going to need these things yourself. And if it takes self-motivation to be invested in that, then so be it. But ideally, whatever that motivation is, if you want to see accessibility improve, tell these companies, I wish more of my friends
Same
could
then.
play your games. I wish that 30 or 40 years from now, I won't have to put down your games, that I'll still be able to be buying them. Make it obvious to them that it's not just disabled people who want to see
Make Dark Souls accessible so I never have to run out of motor function.
happen, and that everyone eventually is going to benefit from these changes.
I wonder how
Yeah,
you
that's
would
a
make
great
Dark Souls
point. I think
accessible.
when we talk about accessibility,
Wonder how that would
sometimes
be
we
possible.
assume we're only trying to appeal to disabled gamers, but it's true that for everybody, these features are helpful and may be helpful in the future.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so great to talk to you, so great to catch up. And before we go, one last thing before we go, where can people find you? And if they want to get involved with the Accessibility Showcase, how do they do that?
Yep, I can be found at Laura K. Buzz on most places, social media-wise, that you might find someone. Accessibility can be found as a series on YouTube at Laura K. Buzz, or at access-ability.uk for written versions of articles. If you go to
You better drive safe.
access-ability.uk, you can find a contact form. If you want to be involved in this year's Accessibility Summer Showcase, drop me a message there and let me know a little bit about your game and what you're doing in terms of accessibility.
Awesome. Well,
amazing.
Thanks again.
Sorry. Thanks, Laura. This was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was really great. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Arguably, she was probably the most she was the most natural speaking person so far in the call.
Speaking of accessible games, are we ready to talk about Calico now?
You know, Slime Heroes actually out in a couple of weeks. I think that's probably high on the priority list.
I'm really excited about that launch. I actually had so much fun playing the demo. I love a good Souls-like.
Let's go, Slime Heroes.
Corrupted Silver Boss fight was super tough. I'm really glad that there's features in the game to allow you to play, like, no matter what your skill level is. We should definitely share that new trailer, too.
Oh, you mean the trailer announcing that it's coming to PlayStation? I have that right here.
Oh, look at that. New platform. This is the game we were talking about earlier, chat. It's Souls-like, but you're the slime. I have a fireball. I have a slime sword.
The Guardians, supposed to protect this land, failed.
Failed?
Corruption stalks every corner now. To be saved by a slime. What has the world come to?
It gives me Bobbity vibes, the voice. Learn unique skills from monsters.
I believe that if we can find a lost guardian, we may be able to help restore balance and peace to the land.
Run along now, little slime. See how tough you are, we shall.
Adorable creatures in this stream smile.
You're an adorable creature. Oh, it's co-op, I guess. Oh no!
Save the guardian! Save the world!
Aha! Friend is not dead.
A great tale this will be!
I can't wait. It looks really cool.
The Pancake Games team is really excited about it. I'm sure they'd be down to talk about it with the community.
Yeah, hey Andy, maybe I can get a hold of Tomas and the team over there at Pancake Games and we could chat?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Hey guys, thanks for the chat today. So, Slime Heroes coming out really soon. How's everyone feeling about it?
Feeling great. Yeah, we're really excited about this release. We've been working on this for the last 3
Oh, mine's
years,
on a
and this is the
Cisco
first time the
WebEx.
this is the first project this team has built together, so we're just really excited for people to experience it for the first time.
Very cool. And can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind the story of the game?
Yeah, the inspiration for Slime Heroes was fundamentally we wanted to tell a story of an underdog or a person, a character that is viewed as weak or not beneficial.
We
to
watched
the
that
world
slime
and
anime.
society, and really show that through perseverance and them like working towards their goals, that they can become something great and even become a hero.
Well, I know that creating a Souls-like game and making it approachable for players is really important to you guys. Why do you think that is? Why is that so important to you?
So we really wanted to make this game approachable because, like, yes, we were making a Souls-like, and Souls-like games are known for being difficult, but there's a lot of great things from those games too. For this, we wanted as many people as possible to be able to enjoy the game and experience it together, and so that with that in mind, we wanted to make sure that it was accessible and specifically allow people to. We want to build a game that people enjoy and can tweak whatever is difficult for them, so that they get the right amount of difficulty for them and they can still enjoy the game. And yeah, like we're just making games for people to have fun. So you can set your difficulty for you.
Hey, you can play easy mode.
I mean, obviously making this accessible to as many players as possible is a big part of the mission for both you and us. But like, do you have any features that you think were absolutely must-have for accessibility around launch?
So, I mean, generally we tried to get as much as we could in, and I know there's a lot more.
I like that he's got like framed games behind him.
With means and resources.
I read what
but
they are.
Our general philosophy for the features that we added to the game is we wanted to give a lot of flexibility. And because not every single person has the same thing that's difficult for them, like it could be reaction speed, it could be how punishing damage is, it could be how fast platforms move and you have difficulty jumping. And so in some of the actions where you have to hold buttons, you can just press them. Everyone has different difficulties, and so we try to just
The man's drinking the
a
soda.
lot of features and sliders to be able to change the thing that makes the game difficult for you, and be able to set that so the game is enjoyable.
It's also kind of an all ages and family game, right? So I think that kind of feeds into that. Obviously, you might have players with really different skill levels sitting with each other, parent and child, or even just two friends who don't play as often as each other. What is it, do you think, that made you want to make a game that way, and what are some specific features that you think enable it? I really liked, for example, your by-player difficulty settings. So even if we're playing co-op, you know, we can each get an experience that fits our skill level.
Yeah. And very early on, we wanted to make a game that people could experience together. Games are such a great medium to be able to share experiences. And
True.
for this game in particular that we were wanting to build, this action Souls-like, we wanted there to be a game that people can have an entry point into that type of genre. And so with those features and the style that we chose, and has a lot of wholesome tones to it, we wanted it to be welcoming to people, to be in the world for a long period of time. And that was something that was important to us. I know myself, I want to be able to experience this with my partner. I want to experience this with my kid. And so we wanted to have that dynamic of, yeah, there's a cute, colorful world. The characters are wholesome and whimsical, and we created these accessibility features to allow entry-level people to get into the game. But we also created opportunities for difficulty. Usually, you're
It
opting in
ramps
when
all
you're
to
being
like
asked or finding
cool.
some extra dungeon somewhere. And so, basically, allowing both people who are entering into this type of game and people who are familiar with this both enjoy it, and being able to share it
The
together.
cutting is aggressive on this call.
Myself, obviously, and we play together all the time. So anything that makes that easier is welcome. Do you have anything you want players to take away after they're done playing Slime Heroes?
Yeah, I mean, one, like, this game is fully, you can play the whole game co-op, both locally and online. So
Okay, good. Like
definitely
that.
enjoy this game with somebody. And then because of the way the story is, we want people to feel empowered. And so after the story, probably the key takeaway is to feel empowered after this. And have fun.
Thank you so much, Tomas. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to chit chat with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
We have another couple of games coming up this year, right?
Yeah, Spray Paint Simulator is one of them.
Oh yeah.
There's a new demo for that in Steam Next Fest, right? We probably have a trailer.
Oh, you mean this one right here?
At least it's the trailer lady. I see this. I got this now. I figured it out. This is like the opposite of Power Wash. I'm kind of into it though. Free spray. No restrictions. Explore and find. Oh. Socks and money. I love money. No restriction. No cops will come when you... Oh. Okay. Oh, when's the game out? When's the game?
It's just absolutely so satisfying in that game.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to make it my mission to find all the Easter eggs the North Star Video Games team hid in free spray mode.
The dev team is really cool, too. They worked on a lot of things before they became an indie studio.
Oh yeah, I should definitely set up an interview with them. What do you all think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Line that up.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. So we'd love to hear a little bit about the game. I think that's something we should definitely share with the audience. Do you guys want to tell us a little something about Spray Paint Simulator?
We're North Star Video Games. We're based in the UK. Spray
Yeah,
Paint
UK.
Simulator, it's a relaxing, creative game about
For
transforming
all they are.
mold to do.
I'm drawing the biggest. I mean,
Experience.
you know what I'm talking
The
about.
gameplay loop is kind of you prep, spray, and reveal your work. You get to choose your colours and you paint things however you like. Well, actually, if you play it in career mode, it's like you paint it how the customer wants it, and then once you unlock it, you go into free spray and you can paint it however you want without restriction. recently finished just before Christmas. We're working on multiplayer. So we've got co-op multiplayer, lets you spray with friends in
Ooh.
spray mode. So the idea is you bring a little bit of colour to the town, which is called Spatterville, which the customers all are inhabitants of Spatterville, so a really quirky characters in that. It's a basic game for people who love hands-on, cosy gameplay and enjoy bringing a bit of colour to the world.
No, I think that's mostly it. It's a relaxed, chilled, easygoing gameplay, play at your own pace.
Cool. Yeah, it's from what I've played already, it's incredibly satisfying. It's got while it's a job game, it's got all the
Gavin, are you?
best parts of the job without all the tedium. And I think that's a tribute to the fact that you guys are real experts on the simulator genre. You guys worked on Lawn Mowing Simulator and a number of other award-winning games. So what are some of the learnings that you've taken from working on, like, for example, Lawn Mowing Simulator and other titles that you worked on that you're bringing into this game?
First thing I'd say, we work with a great team at Skyhook Games, which are really good, based in Liverpool. I think one of the things that we took away from it is satisfying, methodical gameplay loops. People really enjoy that kind of that method and following a process.
Is it Zen?
And then
It's because their audio keeps changing.
From the completion of that process is
Whoever did this did not audio balance.
that was our kind of first. We're very experienced, but that was our first simulation game. We've worked on many other games over the years, kind of like party games, platformers, horror games, narrative, VR, different platforms, mobile, PC, all the consoles. So we've done a lot of different stuff, but it was our first, I think it was our first sim game. Not only was it like, it was an introduction to Sims, because I played some sim games before, but it was, when you're working on something, it's a different perspective. And actually working on something like that was really great. I was actually quite, there was a lot of work, but it was actually really relaxing as well. Especially when we were creating the British countryside, which I know and love very well. So it was very enjoyable. That game kind of was very much on more a realistic
Sorry, Zen.
simulation, and which has definitely got its
Is it better now? I changed the audio a little bit.
One thing that we wanted to do with spray paint sim was a less strict approach. So we've got allows more freedom for us to do more things and more playful. Something we wanted to lean into a little bit more. Players love self-expression, and they would do that in all mode sim. So in SPS, we've definitely gone heavily into that and offering them more of a creative freedom with it, especially in free spray mode, which is play with friends, spray the whole time, do what you want.
Yeah,
I think Lawn Mowing Simulator differed quite a lot from everything else we've historically worked on, which were more like third-person games and with the little cartoon character things. And there is
Little cartoon character things.
about performing tasks. It's about just being very relaxed, and it's more rewarding to do a relaxing thing than it is like a challenge to climb this mountain or jump this wall. Because it's good. It's good fun. They're good things to work on. They are fun in terms of messing about and doing things. Like we've tried to make sure that you can just spray everything. So there's the things that you're supposed to be doing, decorating the car or the kitchen, but you can just go mad and paint the trees or the house or the road or anything you like, which is the kind of thing that in free spray you can collaborate and you can just make whatever you like.
Yeah. So why is creating a relaxing game experience important to you guys for this one?
There's enough troubles in the world at the moment, aren't there? So you think a game should be a way for people to unwind and switch off. So we want to create something that's relaxing and not. Although we've got, I've worked on many games which are about creating tension, like horror games, and I've enjoyed that as well. It's just the last few years, it seems there's been a lot of things, COVID, and there's other things happening, and it just seems like a nice thing to give back as well. Too enjoyable to work on, but to give back. People can focus on a task, feel a sense of progression, which is what you can do with this, with SPS. The before and after transformation is very satisfying and making something colour and vibrant.
Every time they see SPS, I think of something completely different.
It's good to try. You can get from dirty to clean, or in our case, something that's maybe
Not helping me.
You added that vibrancy and renew it. It becomes a new thing. That kind of side of things. I think, that's what I would say.
I know accessibility is really
What's up,
one of the
Yeet?
things
Thank you
that
for the
you
follow.
guys
Hello.
wanted to bake in right from the start of the development process. Can you tell us a little bit about what some of the features that are going to be available in the game and some of the accommodations that you're making for players to get as many players playing as possible?
Yeah, I think the first and most important thing is that lack of pressure and slow pace or at your own pace. There's no requirement for things like rapid button presses or holding down buttons or button combinations. We made an effort to try and make a very clear user interface, and we use core text in line with a lot of accessibility guidelines.
That was me yesterday.
Adjustable controls so that you can remap everything. Multiple different ways to play on controller, mouse, keyboard. I think some players find a kind of methodological, repetitive actions help focus and relaxation. And I think it's quite positive in a kind of accessibility way.
Is that a
That
cat?
is the main things that we've got.
Is there a cat in the background there? I think he's got a cat behind him.
Time is almost up, but we didn't get a chance to talk about that awesome soundtrack. Do you guys want to say a little thing about that? Like,
Wow. Wow.
It's the
Behind him in the blur.
to paint to.
It looks kind of like a cat sitting on like a
Go with that kind of
on the top of the chair or something.
What did you want to make sure was in there?
I was trying to go towards something that's maybe a bit more relaxed, chilled, but laid back, easygoing, and upbeat, really. But because what we've gone for is, you did quite a lot of research when we were looking at similar comparable titles. Then you look at the reviews. What a lot of players tend to do is they'll switch off the in-game music.
I think it's just like
and they'll put a podcast on or listen to their own music.
he's just like
So
looking
what
at the
we've done
window.
where there's a real world device in the game, so it's kind of a radio. So you can pull the radio and
Oh yeah,
you
you.
don't have to buy it in the shop. You can drop it in the scene, and you can. This is also a little bit influenced by games like Grand Theft Auto, where you've got the radio in the game and you can split it.
Right.
That kind of idea, where it's kind of you just flick the button and it plays different tunes on the radio at the time. But all the tunes are relaxing, laid back, and chilled. As I said, easygoing. Maybe
It is moving. It moved.
You don't want to take it
I think it's a kitty.
So maybe a bit of elevator music in that. For those people who love elevator music. And we're not putting the game. We've decided not to put it on by default because we want people to make that choice. So it's kind of like,
Did you see him?
it's on in the main menu, but when you go into the game, you drop the radio in, then you turn it on. If you don't put the radio in, you don't have the music. But in terms of choosing the tracks, it was definitely, I watched tons of stuff on social media.
And Kitty's gone.
Videos. Also just tapping into my own experience of music that I find relaxing, but also not just things that I like, what other people might like.
Hey,
as well.
Sniffy.
Because it's radio, you can switch channel.
Yeah.
So you try, station. So it's kind of like you've got to appeal to everybody, what other people like as well. So try to think about that a little bit as well.
Oh no, he's back. Kitty.
So should we listen?
Kitty, Mark, Kitty. Oh, he's cleaning himself.
Sure. Yeah. Perfect.
I love how they're talking about the game, and I'm like, cat activation, cat.
Always good to check in with the devs.
And with each other too.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me of the work Safe in Our World does. I mean, it's so important what they do. We should totally use Whitethorn Winter to promote their message.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that set up.
Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me.
I'm good.
I
do you know
recognize
what?
this person.
It's been snowing here, and everything
I
has
like
just
their
been
hat.
solid white ice
Snow.
outside,
Mwah.
and it got so grey, and now it's all melted, and I can see like a little bit of green again. It's properly boosted my mood.
Yeah. We need those breaks in the dreary winter that's happening right now, right?
Oh my goodness, yes.
So why don't we get started by why don't you tell me a little bit about Safe in Our World? I know it's done some incredible work providing resources and support for mental health and well-being for people in the games industry. Could you talk a little to this?
Well, there's so much that Safe in Our World does. There's like the Level Up partnership, which is basically where we collaborate with game studios to help safeguard the well-being and mental health of developers and the wider team. Through that, we have a wealth of resources we've got like a website portal where we host training and there's resources to access. We invite industry experts to give talks and workshops. We've done stuff like self-advocacy training, things like that. I think we've signposted an estimated 500,000 people to life-saving, game-changing mental health resources via our website now. We've got like this system where you can find mental health resources and like
I don't know why that sent me, but that sent me.
And yeah, I think that the thing that really got me as a community manager, as someone who likes to learn about people around me, was and something that I contributed to myself when I was an ambassador was
That's a burst angel thing in the background she has.
We've got a podcast called Safe Space, hosted on our website. You can get it on Spotify. I think there's a few other platforms. There's our stories section of the website as well. We regularly share blogs and articles, often unpacking misconceptions and breaking down stigma with real life examples
I like
of
her
mental
hat.
health situations that
It's
people
so good.
find themselves in. And
I really hope it's a hoodie,
last year we
a hoodie
hosted
hat
Games
from
Development Challenge
Hell
over the
House,
course of 5 months.
but I don't
that
think it
saw
is.
over
But I want it to be.
200 submissions of indie games on itch.io, which was a really big deal. We were so excited to see what everyone had made, and all of those games had mental health themes backed into them. So
Yeah.
Wish.
Why is it so important to you to platform these ideas, to promote inclusivity, to normalize mental health?
it's kind of like the same with a book or a movie, right? Games as a platform provide space for storytelling. And one of our chief goals is to break down stigma around mental health.
I think I've worked with Safe in Our World
The more stories
before.
we can tell, the
I
more
think.
light we can shine on what everyone's experience is, what everyone goes through. The more empathy we can build, the more understanding we can build for our fellow human who might be struggling.
Right.
So, like, inclusivity in games, like having representation in games, is a hugely important thing to us. Being able to see those stories manifest in games, but also like games as an escape. Games as we live on a wild marble. It is spinning. We are holding on for dear life. It is next level. Sometimes life can be very scary, and I think there is a lot of good in video games for escapism, for finding a cozy, chill space.
So, going back to the initiatives you guys are doing, you guys are doing a lot. Is there anything coming up that you'd like to share with our community?
2025, I'm so excited about because the team has grown. I came on board. My colleague Jess has come on board. We're 2 more people strong, and that has massively increased the ambition that we have for what we can get done this year. What I would say is keep an eye out on our socials for some pretty sweet news in the coming few months, both for players looking to grab great games to support our mental health charity and to find time for that processing.
What's that, Ultra King?
And then for further support for the games industry itself, we have a lot of stuff very close by that we're going to be announcing, and it's very cool. We've got some exciting developments to help studios implement and maintain great mental health practices. Seeing what they're excelling at and where they can improve. Like we're very excited to get a little bit more hands-on with feedback. So we've been building some infrastructure around that. And we've obviously got our annual
FIFA or
fundraisers
feedback?
like Play Your Way in May and Press Pause later in October. So we'll be on the lookout for creative fundraising ideas from our community. And I'm personally very excited to connect with more streamers this year. That's my New Year's resolution.
Well, I know they're excited to connect with you. Streamers that we've worked with talk very positively about Safe in Our World. So
lovely. Love to hear it.
How can people get involved with these initiatives? Where can they find you?
Oh, they can find us well. We're kind of everywhere. We've got the Safe in Our World website. That's safeinourworld.org. Easy peasy. I'm pretty sure we're at Safe in Our World on pretty much every social media. We are over on Blue Sky now for those jumping ship, Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it. We are still on Twitter, and all of those spaces. But we also have a Discord community. Pretty sure it's like over 2,000 people at this point, if not more. It's a really very cozy, wholesome little space, and I would highly recommend it if you'd like to join. And that is the Safer Together a Discord. So easy peasy to find over on our website.
Great. All right. So before I let you go, what's your favorite Whitethorn game?
Ooh.
Well, okay, so bear with me because I'm a big fan of that kind of laid back, cozy vibe day in the life simulator. And I heard really good things about Calico. Now, I picked it up for my sister's birthday present last year, and because she's big into cats. She wants a cat, as she's always banging on about this cat
Lauren, you
cafe
have a
that
good
she
sleep.
goes to. So I thought that's a perfect fit, right?
Right.
Everything I've seen and heard about the game makes me want to play it so bad, but alas, my backlog of games remains untouched. So soon, I hope to make space for it. It's definitely the next one on the list.
Well, we're excited. We're excited to hear what you think after you play it then.
The art style is so cute.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
They really like
I think you're
Calico.
gonna really have a good time when you jump into it.
Looking forward to it.
Yay! Thanks so much for joining us again today. It was really great talking to you.
But yeah, it's been lovely. Thank you for inviting us. It's always nice to have a wee chat and talk about what we're always up to. So
absolutely, yeah. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Guardian.
The games industry is making strides to be more inclusive to creators and players, but it still has a long way to go. It's groups like Safe in Our World who are leading the charge in education and providing much needed awareness, support, and destigmatization in the industry that will help us bring the game space that we all love to where it needs to be.
How can we help Safe in Our World do more?
You know, there's actually a number of ways. There's programs on their website, and also you can donate directly. But beyond that, they also do charity bundles sometimes. You remember last year we were in one of theirs?
Yeah, we were. And I guess we'll just have to stay tuned and see what they have cooking this year.
Oh, snowy. Pedro's
Hey guys,
gone.
It's really coming down out there.
I am so sick of the snow. I would rather be on a beach anywhere.
You mean a beach like Ambrosia Island?
Oh, what I would give to be there right now.
Well, we can at least include it in the showcase. Don't we have an announcement about a new platform?
Yeah, it's coming to PlayStation. You guys want to see the trailer?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Is this that game that I was talking about that I figured like it looked really cool, but I figured I'd get weighed down and get completely lost because there was a lot of. It is that game. I think it looks really cool, and like I kind of wanted to play it, but like there was a lot of talking, which meant a lot of voice acting for like some of the conversations, and I figured I was gonna just get lost or what. I felt like it was a lot for me at the time that it came out, so I just didn't do it. It looks really cool though. I love the style they went with. How you doing, Guardian? Looks like a Cerberus. These are all gods, right? Yeah, Zeus and her. Yeah. They're all gay. They're all god-based. Behind the myth. Oh, hi, Hades. He's gonna. Show nice. PlayStation.
You know, it would be great if Alex from Polygon Treehouse joined us to say a few words about the game too.
I'm sure he'd be up for it. Let me chat with him.
So it's been a few months since Mythric has released on PC.
Oh god, this guy's a
and
gamer.
Switch. What's it been like seeing people experiencing the game?
Look at that background.
It's been absolutely terrifying, but really, really exciting at the same time. I think when we've been working on something for so long, and you've been quite close to it, and nurture it and make sure it's a perfect thing, and then it's out into the wild and people are playing it, and interacting in their own ways and experiencing the story for the first time. It is really scary, but we're building games to be played, and it's always really exciting to see how different people
Polygon
react to it
trios.
and people connecting with the story and the characters. So yeah, really, it's just the most rewarding bit of making a game, seeing people play it and seeing people enjoying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hopefully you've had some time to rest and recover now that it's been out. But I'm just curious about the most fulfilling parts, big or small, that come to mind throughout development or even post release.
So I think one of the coolest things I think it was Summer Game Fest, some really awesome cosplay of our main character Alex. And it was quite a confusing situation because I'm called Alex, the player character in the game is called Alex, and the lady who's did the cosplay is also called Alex.
Spider-Man meme.
There's a triple Alex whammy. But that was just so amazing, and to go from something a character you've been scribbling on paper and working with closely to then see someone do such an amazing job of cosplaying them, that was really, really mind-blowing. And
I think that would be pretty cool.
Going from a 2D sketch, seeing the character come out in 3D is one thing.
Yeah.
See a real-life person being your
To
character.
see someone trying to like
That was
cosplay
really-
as a
yeah,
character
really,
you made.
Really awesome. And I think people connecting with the story. We've had lots of messaged up people being reduced to tears at the end of the game. They've felt such a strong connection to the characters. And also, obviously, with Mythrax, our take on the Greek gods, they're not the kind of old dusty Greek gods, quite a modern interpretation, answering the question, what would the Greek gods be like if they're alive in today's world? And so there was an article
I had a couple of that recently with
they
Stray
loved the game,
Gods
they
in
really
this.
got where we were going with it, and so that was kind of like a real relief for me, and just it was really great to see proper classicists really embrace the idea of Mythrax
Thank you, the Sips next.
and its kind of strange take on the Greek gods. So that was, just we could go on and on, but there's just three really big highlights for me.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially just hitting kind of some of these pockets outside of our bubble, which we're so inside, like we said. Game is out on PC, Xbox, and Switch, but now it's coming to PlayStation. It's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. I personally have quite a long history with PlayStation. I think Super Nintendo and then PlayStation was part of my kind of console journey growing up. And actually, after university, I spent the first half of my career working at PlayStation. So I worked at Sony Cambridge, then became Gorilla Cambridge, and I worked a lot of
I'm trying to analyze this man's background.
IP. And so, PlayStation will always be something that's close to my heart. To have an indie game we've made come to PlayStation is always going to be a really special thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that makes me just think of the DualSense. I mean, that controller is just, it really has taken...
I'm going to leave you with this and BRB just a
the
second.
next level. Wow. But I'm just curious if you had any, ideas on how you could take advantage of that with Mythrax.
Yeah, you're right. It does feel like a kind of big step forward, and I think games like Astrobot really show what that controller and the fidelity that it can bring to an experience. And one of the central mechanics of Mythrax is the Ambrosia Alex's radar. So as you're exploring a 3D space, like a magic metal detector, the pings and the sound will increase the closer you're getting, proximity to a hidden treasure. And so, clearly there's, it's really exciting to see the potential of how that might work with the DualSense controller.
Yeah, well, I am so excited to play Mythrax once again, seeing it on PlayStation and playing it with the DualSense. So it's been, so awesome catching up. Do you have any, shout outs or closing remarks?
I just want to say a big thanks to the whole, Whitethorn family, all the other developers we've crossed paths with, with Whitethorn, and just big thanks to everyone for playing the game. I hope you had fun, and if you've not had a chance to play yet, obviously you can play on PC and now pick any console. It's any console of your choice. Yeah, there's a warm welcome waiting for you on Ambrosia Island.
All right, Alex. Well, it was great talking to you, and I can't wait to check it out on PlayStation. Bye.
I'm really proud to have worked on Mythrax with Polygon Treehouse. They are just such an awesome team.
You know who else is awesome? Peachy King Games and Calico. Are we ready to talk about that yet?
Oh, and how could we forget about Magical Delicacy? We have something cooking up with them, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. Coming to PlayStation. You have a trailer, Lisa?
You bet I do.
It was really nice setup, DGB. I liked it a lot. Well, I guess something inside of me needed to leave. So, I'm okay. I think something I had for lunch did not agree with me. See, this game, I still think this game is something that Simva would play. Or would want to play.
Watching that trailer made me hungry.
Hey, there's some more magical delicacy, right?
Always.
It was a really big hit with our community and creators too.
Speaking of creators, we should chat with Stream for a Cause. We collaborated on quite a few charitable initiatives with them last year. They do some incredible work connecting creators with community nonprofits to help fundraise for important causes at the local level. I'm sure our community would love to hear what they have coming up this year.
Oh, definitely. Great idea.
Let's see if we can set that up.
Hi, Robbie. Hi, Marv. It is so wonderful to see you. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. We're so happy to be here with you today.
We're thrilled to have you. We're really excited to have you guys on the Whitethorn.
Robbie has
thanks so much for joining us.
too happy look right now.
Tell me a little bit about Stream for a Cause and some of the initiatives that you and your team partake in.
Sure. So, Stream for Cause is a nonprofit. We're based in Michigan, but we work all over the world. Our mission is to connect funds raised through online spaces into actual communities. So the world keeps getting more global, right? Like we have like online communities, we have these huge, giant, we call them name brand nonprofits that are doing amazing work. But what about the ones that are in our own backyards? What about our local food pantries? What about our local humane societies, shelter houses, pride centers? They don't always have access to raising money in the same way that we do with content creators, which totally makes sense, right? Like that's fine, but what can we do about it? And that's what we do at Stream for a Cause. We're raising money. We do micro granting. We do consultation. Our job is to help smaller community-based organizations overcome the barriers that prevent them from delivering the services that we need. Because even if we do live in a more global space, we still also live in a
My
town
guess
or a
is
community or
that
a
one of them
neighborhood.
was super
So we
close,
need
so
to
they just
continue
made
to
all of
support
them
those
super
places
close.
as well.
And we work with content creators of any size on really any platforms, and we take those funds and we not only crowdsource them for Stream for a Cause, because like Robbie said, a lot of these small charities and nonprofits that we work with in these local communities, giving them money sometimes doesn't always solve the problem. So our sustainability coaching and our other programs are so integral to Stream for a Cause, and we really have our content creators to thank for that.
That's amazing. So what do you all have planned for this year?
Well, we're kind of coming up on our biggest campaign of the year, which is our Pride campaign. So we do a lot of awesome things with that. We have celebrity guests. We have a bunch of content creators. I think last year we had between 250 and 300 content creators who all came together to raise about $100,000 for Stream for a Cause. It was an amazing time. There was tournaments, events, individual streams, raid trains, like you name it in content creation, and we were doing it because it's about also giving people a vehicle to be creative. And we also treat it a lot like a digital Pride festival. Pride is awesome, but not everybody can go. It's not always accessible. Sometimes it's in places that are just unreachable for people who have different mobility needs, or maybe it's in a place that it's not safe. You might be trans and going to Pride is cool, but also you'd be outing yourself, right? To folks that you're not comfortable with. So what we also try to do is bring a lot of the information, the resources that you would associate with Pride, we try to bring them as well to a digital space. And we're really excited to do that again this year.
Pride is really important to our community. A lot of our content creators identify in the LGBTQAI+ community. A lot of our content creators
Who's
are also
QIA? Am I
just a
wrong?
part of marginalized communities in general. We have a lot of great allies as well. So Pride is always a really great time for us all to get together and have that pride.
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed a lot of them are using the same headset as well.
Very exciting and important activation that you guys are working on. So, with such a diverse, group of creators and of your team, inclusivity and representation seems to be very important. Why is that?
I think that it's because people like to see
You
games.
see
that
what I
they
meant
can
by
see
audio
themselves in.
balancing? The difference between her and him.
We love to be able to showcase games of all different types. The idea of being inclusive, right? Like, it's something that we can treat like a chore, or it's something that we can just embrace, because we all have differences. We all have things that make us unique. We all have different thoughts and ideas and all of this stuff. And we also have differences in the way that we grew up or the experiences that we've had. So making sure that we have media that represents that.
So the way to fix that, Guardian, is
we always
really
love to
easy.
approach
Like,
those things. That's
either
why
you
we
have
love
3
Whitethorn games so
separate
much, because
call
honestly, so many of the
logs,
different games that you put out,
or you just
naturally
cut it
have
per
just,
person
representation
and
put
raise
into
their
them,
audio.
because it's something that's important to the developers.
But it
and
was
their
probably put
teams.
together really quickly.
And
Like, they
so
probably did this
for
all like over the last couple of weeks.
That makes
so.
a huge it just makes a huge difference, and being able to talk about the games. We
I
always
get
love
it,
when there's something new
but-
from Whitethorn coming out, because it's going to be something that's relatable to the people in our communities, and for all the different studios right
The
now that
editor
are,
in
like,
me is yelling.
questioning it. They're thinking like, wow, DEI, like, that's getting cut everywhere. Like, should we play it safe? I just want to encourage you to continue to be brave, because there are people that rely on that. There are people who need to see themselves as a young brown kid going into STEM, or they maybe need to see themselves as like a cool, like, witchy vibe, right? Like, there's all sorts of different stuff that's out, and if you continue to make those games, they're going to be speaking to the people that you're really wanting to reach. Shout out to Magical Delicacy.
What do you mean, Sniffy?
Just before we head out, where can people find you? How can they get involved?
The best place to find us, we're on all socials, but if you go to streamforacause.org, you can find all of our social handles there. If you're a small content creator and you're looking to get involved and be more philanthropic in your streams, we also have a sign-up area right on our website. You can also access our Discord from streamforacause.org, where you can see all of the upcoming events and all the fun stuff we have planned for this year.
That's awesome.
We're just so excited that y'all had us on the showcase this year. Like, we're super big fans of Whitethorn Games. Ever since we were able to meet in person and even connect before that with just the random emails, you all have been so lovely and welcoming. So we're just, thank you so much from Stream for a Cause. We're really happy to be participating and to just celebrate everything that you have coming up this year.
Well, we're super happy to have you, and thank you again for joining us and taking time out of your busy day. I know you got a lot to do, so I appreciate it.
I gotta say, I'm like, Robbie came in. Robbie came in with like a Chucky vibe, and he left with like a really, really wholesome kid vibe. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happier now.
Can we just take a moment to recognize the fact that it's been 4 years since we premiered our first ever Whitethorn Winter Showcase?
Let's go.
Has it been that long?
Time sure does fly.
It's ever sleeting.
Pedro,
All right.
just
wait. Wasn't
be quiet
it
and
Whitethorn Winter
spin.
2 years ago that we teased Colonel Hearts?
Yeah, and we revealed the first trailer for the game last year.
We should check to see if the team at Ephemera wants to share any new gameplay. I'm sure they'd love to talk to our community as well.
Hi, I'm Momo, and I'm the lead character artist of Colonel Hearts. Today, I'm going to talk about 2 of the many allies you will meet in the Tower of Babel. Mikowai, the Ravenous Soldier, and Fang, the Dreamer Hunter.
Okay, I'm interested.
Mikowai is a Polish soldier who ventured into the Tower of Babel as part of the first military assault 10 years before the arrival of the player. The 2 bullets wounds on his chest sparks questions about what happened back then to his squad. After all, angels aren't usually the ones doing the shooting. And then we have Fang, a real magical girl in the flesh. A rare sight these days, and one of the last ones alive. She was
Why does
part
she
of
look
the
like
5th
Ruby?
expedition into the tower, back when they still had magical girls to spare.
She looks like
The
Ruby
tower
if
can grant
Ruby.
magical girls an extraordinary burst of power, but this heavenly curse doesn't come cheap.
Ruby and Geralt of
If you
Rivia had
don't
a
stop
child.
At the right moment, you will get lost in the ecstasy of it, never to come back. We call those former girls dreamers. upon seeing the horrors of the Heavenly Curse, she devoted the rest of her life to taking her former squad out of their slumber so they could finally rest. And that is all for now, but if you would like to know more about the characters that will aid you in your journey, join our Discord to stay up to date with any upcoming news about the game.
I want to play the game.
Let's together next time. Oh, and wishlist the game on Steam. Yep. Bye-bye!
I want to slay God. I want to lay God. I mean, slay God. Find out both?
Chrono
Yeah.
Hearts revealed
You
that's
get
on
it.
Xbox, right? That was at the Latin American Games Showcase.
Yeah, no, such a great show too. There were so many awesome indies from Latin America.
I wonder if the organizer, David, would be up for joining us for Whitethorn Winter. I would love to hear more about what they're doing to bring Latin American-led studios to a wider audience.
Let's see if he's up for it. Well, David, it's great to meet you. We're excited to learn more about the work that LAX does in bringing global exposure to Latin America developers. And
Yeah, I love that their acronym is
Can you tell
LAGS.
us a little bit more about what you guys do and how it impacts any developers in Latin America and how they benefit from it too?
Yes, for sure. Well, first, thank you guys for including us. It's been a pleasure to collaborate with Whitethorn in the past. We're super happy to work with
Good
publishers
acronym.
that are also bringing attention and supporting devs in our region. So this is a pleasure and an honor. So thank you for having me. And yeah, the Latin American Games Showcase, it's precisely that. It's a platform that we started working on late 2022, 2023, I believe. I'm already lost on time. But we've done basically 4 editions already, and the whole idea of it is to
I can't believe Lucio put down his guns.
developed by Latin American developers, both within the region but also overseas. Like we've had teams from Colombian developers that are working on games from the Netherlands, and a lot of people in the United States and the UK. So we basically are trying to funnel every game that we can find so that they find new audiences and hopefully additional opportunities like the interest of publishers just like you guys. Fortunately, we've had a lot of a success in this past editions, not only visibility wise, but we've had several teams that have gotten picked up because they were found while watching our showcase. So that's always great. And in the past couple of years, we've integrated also a Steam sale, and that has also garnered a lot of success. So yeah, the idea is for us to have at least 2 showcases a year where we highlight a bunch of games. We've done so already for over 230 games of the region, and we want to keep the work going. We want to keep working, and we're excited to keep on going and growing with the platform.
Nice, thank you.
So, what are your plans for 2025?
2025 is going to be huge. We have, of course, the plan to keep our 2 big windows that are going to this year again be in collaboration with Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards team. So we're going to be on Summer Game Fest.
Hey,
and
Mr.
we
Keighley.
will be
Keighley
at the Game
Mansion.
Awards as well. We don't know the shape that's going to take for the Game Awards. We're thinking of changing formats for that one, but we're going to at least take advantage of those windows and the huge platform that Jeff and his team has given us in the past year. That said, we're working on a lot of other projects to keep on supporting the devs. So not only the Steam sales are going to come back, but we are now actively working on a game jam we're going to be announcing soon. Probably when this goes up, it's already announced, so all good. And we're also working on a couple of
Hey, Gio.
initiatives that will include a lot more collaboration with content creators from the region or content creators that want to support the region. Because even though we understand the importance of the sales and the wish lists and all that stuff, we've grown to know that the best way to market the size of our games is through word of mouth and content creation. So we're trying to create spaces where we can collab with a lot more content creators and hopefully get more visibility that actually turns into sales and wish lists and active wish lists for our games. And we are starting to meet with sponsors and publishers that have already backed us in the past to see opportunities to find physical spaces where we can promote our games. So basically, we're just keeping what we're doing, and we're trying to layer a lot of other
How you doing?
windows throughout the year.
That
to
reminds me,
support
actually.
even more.
Like, where can developers find you?
They can find us in all of the active social media. So we are.
Did they ever release Hi-Fi Rush
X, we are in Blue Sky. We are in TikTok. We
as
are
a
in Instagram. And we're
physical
on Twitch.
game?
All as LAG Showcase, so LAX Showcase, Latin American Games Showcase. They can find us everywhere. They can also visit us on our website, laxshowcase.com, and they can both see the applications there, but they can also see the lineup of the past showcases to know how they work, and they can find out a little bit more of our team and contact us directly. So yeah, for now, if you just follow on our social media,
I don't think they did.
Subscribe to our newsletter to find more information about the games being released month to month, and go to our website around March, and then around September you should be up and ready to apply for the showcase. That being said, my email, it's like another great way to find us. We try to scout games throughout the year.
Oh, I'm sorry,
so you can
Squeak.
get me
What
at
happened to
David
it?
at laxshowcase.com, and I'll answer right back, and I'll try to help you out, or meet and see your pitch and help you whatever ways we can.
Thank you so much, David, for your time today. We're really looking forward to the next Lag Showcase and much more to come from you guys. 2025 is going to be amazing.
Yes, and this is not the beginning, but this is the first step in 2025 where both of us are collaborating, and I'm sure not only through the games that we are supporting, but through our endeavors and missions throughout the year. It's not that last time you'll see Lag Showcase and Whitethorn in the same screen.
Well, I'm excited for that.
Thank you, David. It was really nice meeting you. And
No,
in the best
there's
Lags.
limited run picked up the creation and publishing of a limited run Hi-Fi Rush physical copy, Zen. And I was gonna buy it because I wanted like support devs.
We've talked about all the games coming to PlayStation this year.
Well-
We talked about all our other games coming out this year. We've had a look back at last year.
I haven't
Can we
heard anything
please
about
talk
it in
about
like a year now.
Oh, guys, we're almost out of time, and we forgot to talk about Calico. Peachy Keen Games has new DLC for that really soon, right?
Yeah, Calico neat things. We have something special to share about its release date, right?
Well, they just wanted to do a limited run to get it out there.
It's
for
launching
folk.
during the Whitethorn Winters Showcase on PC and Nintendo Switch.
You mean right, meow?
Oh my god. I'm gonna.
Roll the trailer!
I'm cringing. Right, meow? I say it ironically. I'm a cat. Oh my god, look. Dark, look at you dancing. X lol. Kitty plane. Calico, neat things. Out now. It's adorable.
What a great way to end the show, don't you think?
Yeah, I know our community has been really excited about that.
Well, everyone, this has been a very productive meeting. One last thing, though. I want to make sure to extend a huge thank you to the members of the press who covered us over the years, the fantastic content creators who've shown us so much support, and, of course, our wonderful community. We couldn't have had such an incredible 2024
DLC,
without
Guardian.
them. I really hope they're excited about what we have coming up in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that extends to all of our partners, developers, and the platforms that help us get our games out to everybody. So, you know, to name a few from this showcase, Safe in Our World, the Latin American Games Showcase, it's Stream for a Cause, of course, Laura Kate Dale and her Accessibility Showcase, and anyone else we haven't mentioned that's been a continued part of our mission to get games in everybody's hands.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And thanks, Liz. You did a great job.
No problem. I'm happy to help. I'm so excited for everything coming this year.
Well, thanks everyone for joining today. Make sure you all stay safe during the storm, and don't forget to shovel your sidewalks. There's people walking. Stay warm.
Oh man, I don't want to shovel my sidewalk again.
Have a good afternoon, everyone. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Be safe.
I really,
This could have been an email.
part of me, this could have been an email. I say that to every meeting. This could have been an email. Bye forever.